guys, what's up? It's GleeCon, and hey man, we are back again. Hey man, and hey girls. Everybody, we are here, and we're gonna enjoy what you see before you, which is the continuation of my little side project, the once weekly little taste that we're gonna take into a side franchise, just to keep things spicy in this relationship. You know, we've been going at it for years on this channel, so sometimes you got a little excitement. So last time we kicked off Final Fantasy 1, we're going to do all the franchise things in order. As you see, this is not the OG Final Fantasy 1, and tune into the last episode, episode 1, if you want to hear a very in-detailed debate about that. Today what we're going to do is just jump into where we are, and I'll kind of give you a little tune in. So as far as the walkthrough, or as the game itself goes, we have hit level 3, and now we're going to head up to the Chaos Shrine to try to fight our way through there. We're also going to discuss, as we go from time to time, some parts of the game. We're going to discuss various status ailments, and we're going to discuss differences in the different versions of Final Fantasy 1. We discussed a lot of the previous versions up to the 1994 bundle that came out, Final Fantasy 1 and 2. We will talk about the WonderSwan color version that didn't come out until 2000. We'll talk about that next time. So what we're doing right now, again, is we're going to walk north to Chaos Shrine. So it says buy some heal potions. I can't remember if we did that or not. And go back to the inn, save your game, and then go after Garland. So we need to go to the Chaos Shrine. It's not a big dungeon, as you can see. There's like an A, B, C, D. There's some treasures. There are tarantulas and skeletons. Spiders can poison you. There's zombies and ghouls. Don't waste anything. There are warg wolves and werewolves. Have a lot of HP. And they can poison. Says just run, they're not worth the trouble. I guess we're going to see how that goes. That's where save scumming will help us out. Looking at the actual items, there are 2 treasure rooms on the right. So I'm guessing these 2, the D, E, and F, that are locked with the Mystic Key. So we're going to focus on the 2 left rooms right now. We can get a leather helmet or leather cap, whatever it's called, from the first room. And in the upper room, we can get a cabin or tent, depends on the version of the game, and a potion. Give the helmet to your weakest character. It gives an absorb, but a -1 evade. So, for instance, maybe our mage. Garland and Princess Sarah await you in the center. So when we do eventually get there, you'll notice the princess behind him, not to mention his pet bats. And we will enter a fight with him when it is needed. So... that's the gist of that one. All right, so looking at our inventory, I got to remember the buttons here. Okay. Oh yeah, it's all keys here. Items, we did not buy any potions yet, so maybe we just buy a few. Right, why not? Because grinding is all okay. Oh yeah, I forgot we can also run. That's one of the quality of life upgrades with this version of the game. We did buy all the magic and all the equipment. There we go. This is our little item shop. Hey, dude. So I feel like we don't really need any of. You can buy Phoenix Downs. That's new, but they're so expensive. Curing poison would be cool. We can't do it on our own yet. A little scary about that. So basically, if we get poisoned, we're almost gonna wanna. What did it say? Did it say to buy heals or poisons? It said buy a few heal potions. Yeah, so that's actually to get rid of the poison, so let's buy those. We can afford 3. Perfect. So that's perfect. So that's what we got to get out of here. Alright, and now we're gonna skedaddle and head to the north, where we will find this dude. Okay? And we'll get into some little fights and we'll make some discussions along the way. Okay, I think we can just spam attack here. Okay, she punched the first one. I think... Oh, he can even kill now. Perfect. Alright, so these little turds did not get a chance to go. Love it. 6 HP, 24 gold. That's half a heal, baby. That's the broken bridge. That's going to be our reward for completing this first little cave. Continue walking north. I see a cave right here. Is this where we're going? No, that is the Earthgift Shrine. This looks pretty scary. I think we've gone to the wrong area. Well, that's good. At least it's not too deadly for us. Well, okay, that wasn't that bad. Let's look at the map and just make sure. Where is our original area? Oh, I guess this is right. It's at the top. If you look at the map here, you kind of go through this pass and it's up at the tippy top. So that's all you can access right now. Okay, not too shabby. All right, so we're safe. We are going the right way. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. But while we're paused, actually, let's look at the first thing. So let's look at status ailments in honor of what we're doing right now. Oof, my back is killing me. I think there's some weather coming. All right, so we can be put to sleep. When you're asleep, you cannot act. It causes sleep or sleepara, or the two spells that cause it. Mummies can also put you asleep with their hit. Each turn, and at the end of battle, you will wake up. Each turn you have a chance. Additionally, in the version that we are on, it says DOS and AE. Pretty sure those are the versions. If you look, yeah, Dawn of Souls. We are playing even the next version down. I don't remember when it's gone. It's not the Pixel Remaster because that's like one of the last versions. It's the PSP. This one. Oh, Anniversary Edition. There we go. That's what. Which we are going to discuss the changes in that eventually. So in the version that we are playing, using a remedy will awaken them. It's not really a concern. Very few enemies can cause it. So very few cast sleep or sleep aura and mummies. And you have a chance of just waking up anyway. Okay, so that's cool. We discussed the sleep condition. Okay. So again, not really a big worry. We're going to travel through the marsh over this little land bridge. Back in the woods we go. For 3 more goblins. Good job. Good job just crushing goblins. Oh yeah, we have Gleeman, Gleekon, Gleezy, and Gleebo. Definitely going to be people that we name. All right, there's the darkness effect. It reduces your accuracy, meaning your chance to hit. The spell Dark causes it, and the monster is known as Shadows. The spell Blindna recovers it, or if you win the fight, it's automatically freely cleared. Also, eye drops and remedies cure it. So these are new status ailment things from future Final Fantasies that have been added into this game. It's meaningless. It's not rare, not really common, so I would say it's uncommon. Even if they're affected, chances are you won't notice a difference in how much damage, since attacks involve multiple hits instead of a single blow. Even with reduced accuracy, most likely you're going to keep hitting. Gotcha. So they're saying, do not sweat this one at all, is what the guide is saying. Oh, this looks pretty cool. Look at this thing. It's a crumbled castle in this version. All right, before we get too much going on here, first we're going to remember we are going to go to the side in this creepy little castle to get our 2 treasure chests. Zombies. We got a preemptive strike, though, so we get to go first. Haha, zombies. You are nothing to me. Said don't waste your magic on them, so 25 will kill them. Okay, so with our preemptive strike, we killed 3 out of 4. 17 will not kill. 47. Homeboy is crushing it. Nice XP. Okay. There's also the mute effect. Affected characters can't use magic. It's caused by the silence spell. The spell Vox can cure it. Also, it removes at the end of a fight. Also, you can use Echo Grass or remedies. Again, not a concern. It's uncommon, but it is noticeable because the magic will get you, unless you're using all magic users are low level or very injured. Even if everyone's muted, it's fine because your fighters will save the day. That makes sense. Okay. We're going to talk about this music on a future episode. This is a ghoul. I think this is like a strong version of a zombie, but we're only fighting 1. Wow, 3 hits? He hit her with some sort of paralyze. Yeah. And 30 damage. I don't like that. Okay, Gleeman raised level 26 HP, a strength and luck increase. So he does more damage. and has a greater chance of running away. Glee Khan raised a level, also 23 HP, a strength, agility, and intelligence. Because I think that will help it if he becomes a ninja. For now, intelligence does nothing for him, and stamina, and luck. So that was a great level for Glee Khan. Gleezy, the healer, little smidge of HP, little bit of MP, strength, so her hammer does more HP and better chance of luck. Lebo, oh, a big boost. He basically doubled his life, and a nice boost to MP and strength, so he does a little bit more damage. Intelligence, so his magic damage is up. All right, so let's see what we can do here. I think I can use magic. Like, I think I can make her use cure to heal herself. Good. Okay. Like it. Up to level 8. Oh, now you can save anywhere too, but we don't need to because we can just save states. I guess we should from time to time do it. Alright, so then there's the paralysis effect. Let's talk about it since it just hit us. The character can't act, so it's kind of like being asleep. The hold spell, the stun spell, both cause it as well. Sorry, guys, the back is really hurting today. Physical attacks from various enemies, most undead, and special attacks like gaze or mind blast, so just all kinds of places, so it's very common. Every turn you have a chance of it recovering, automatically clears at the end of the fight, also a remedy, so it's hard to restore. It's more of an annoyance than a threat. It's similar to, but much more common than sleep. You'll encounter a lot of enemies that can paralyze you. The most are weak enough that you'll recover before you get killed. The biggest threat are the mind flayers that can paralyze the entire party at once. So that does sound annoying. Okay, cool. So what are we going to do here? We're going to get our first treasure chest. Leather cap obtained from the chest. Where we will now go into equipment. It says our weakest character, so should we give it to Grebo? That would give me -1 evasion, but a +1 defense. Considering you have nothing on defense, probably not the worst. Cool. Okay, now we're going to go up for those other chests. 2 more. Alright, these are regular zombies. These ones should be okay. Oh, nice. My main guy gets 2 attacks now. Ow. She gets... I don't know why they're going after her so much. Main dude. Okay. Well, now that my main guy gets 2 attacks, his stuff just went through the roof. Okay. Alright, we got a couple more zombies, and then we'll go back and look at the status effect. Yeah, see, this is great. That... Yes, he missed. Haha. Haha, Shirajua. Alright, so my warrior jumped back up to being the top damage dealer on the team. Now that we're level 4. Alright, there's the poison effect. This is the one I was scared of. It gradually reduces your HP, and it lasts until cured. Physical attacks from countless enemies. Most spiders, snakes, centipedes, flans, ochus, golems, scorpions, nagas, were creatures, which is our problem today, and wyverns. The spell Poisona, or antidotes. The most annoying ailment in the game. The most common ailment in the game, especially around the Marsh Cave. It's not a huge amount of damage per round, but you have to cure it immediately after battle since you take damage from every step. Always carry as many antidotes as you can. Okay, good to know. So we should be prepared. There's the way to the center right there, but we need that other chest. Right. Cha. Okay, here's our ghoul, the stronger guy again. Ooh, he's got a tougher defense. 20 damage. Oh, he paralyzed my strong boy. Thief got it. Strong boy's got good armor though. Okay. Alright, we also have the petrification status effect. The character is turned into stone and cannot act until cured, basically dead. The break spell causes it, cockatrices can cause it, and medusas can do a special move. The Stonus spell, or golden needles, is a huge threat. Not only are they unable to act, but they are as good as dead. If the battle ends before they're fixed, they don't gain XP. If all characters are petrified, it's game over. and petrified characters cannot be having their HP restored at ends or by being cured. Add to the fact that most enemies can cause most of the enemies that can cause it attack in large groups. This is a bigger of a concern than being killed, like if you're fighting a pack of cockatrices. Makes sense. Okay. All right, let's get this last 2 treasures. A potion. It's good we have one of those now. And a 10. Cool. All right, so now we're going to go into the middle to fight the dude, the boss. Oh, we're going to fight some skeletons. I believe they said skeletons are not really a big deal. Oh yeah, they seem pretty easy. I also don't, yeah, 6 XP, what is that? Also, I don't remember. Oh, we kind of have to go down, not up, now that we're sort of at the wall. Good to know. Okay, so there's also the KO effect. They're dead. So if you lose your HP, you're KO'd. There is some instant death black magic, and some attacks from Mind Flayers can just one-shot you. The life spell and full life spell heals you. You can be revived at sanctuaries, or use a Phoenix down. Learn the life spell as soon as possible. Keep your HP up. Otherwise, you're going to have to be going back to 10 a lot. Got it. I got it, boss. I will be learning. Alright, we're about to enter Ganon's. Whatever. Uh-oh. Okay, so goblin guards are not the problem here. The werewolf. No. Okay, good. So we are going to probably... Oh, we had a preemptive strike. These goblin guards are, I think, even worse than the goblin, like, whatever they were. Goblin captains, I think, outside. But we got lucky on the RNG, and they both went after my warrior, and we were able to take the werewolf out before he became an issue. Yeah, that's good. Cool. Nice, excellent. Yeah, and that was a level raising thing. Gleeman got a big HP boost, agility so he gets even greater chance of attacking more, and some stamina for taking less damage or gaining more life. Glee Khan gains the level. Nah, a pinch of HP, some stam, toughness. So not a minor level for him. Gleezy, pinch of HP, little pinch more MP. Agility, so she's building up on that fastness. She has a greater chance of going fast. Agility is good for everybody. And Glebo. Glebo gains 1 HP, but a big boost of MP. That's it. Glebo, you suck. I mean, he doesn't suck. He's just a one-trick pony. All right, so before we look at transportation, let's take a look at what changed with the Wonder Swan color. So, this is, again, an evolution really from when it came out on the NES. Those are the ones we talked about before. So, NES version dropped in 1990. Now, there was the compilation of 1 and 2 that came out in Japan only. I think it was for the Famicom or something like that. I can't even really remember. We will talk about it later, actually, on an episode where we review any specific changes. But that wasn't really anything big. The Wonder Swan is, again, Japan only. But when they made the Wonder Swan version, I don't even know exactly what a Wonder Swan is. I think it's some kind of Japan-only console or computer or something. They changed some things. So they updated the logo with the Warrior of Light, so that's cool. So up until now, we're using these old, either Japanese versions, but we start to get closer to the logo that we will see from... So that's honestly one of the most important changes. They use 16-bit pixels, equivalent to Super Famicom, which is larger color palettes and full background images for battles. So now we're starting to change. We're getting into like the SNES redo on the graphics. If you want to look at Wonder Swan color, Final Fantasy 1, and you can look at some images from it, you can probably start to see, like, this is kind of like if you play the game on like Android, it looks sort of like this. Here you go. So you can see this. We're getting those SNES graphics. So that's cool. the sprites are upgraded to more closely resemble the Super NES, the Super Famicom sprites. The shops, each room can be explored like we have now, and there's a counter where they can be accessed, even though it's pointless. So before, I guess up until now, you would have just touched a shop and the shop menu would open. Now you can actually go inside shops. Remember, one of the earlier changes was that there was a menu with a sprite for a shopkeeper. So it was originally just probably you walk up to the building and the list of what you can buy pops up. Battle screens were redesigned to resemble the Final Fantasy II battles, with the text information moved to a blue window and the battle information on the upper thing. That's kind of like what we've been doing right now. So I guess originally I think it was black, I want to say, and maybe it was side by side. I mean, I've played the NES version, so I'm stretching here, but for cutscenes, there were cutscenes with sprites where mainly the main one is the construction of the bridge by the Cornelian army after we beat it. So we're going to see that first cutscene very soon. Increased text boxes. They removed the restriction of being unable to display more than one window of text, basically scrolling, when interacting with NPCs. The original Famicom version could not display more than one window of text, which meant that all conversations with NPCs had to be like one sentence. So now you might have one or two that go longer. Battle changes. Now, again, they're not adding dialogue, but that's a change basically going forward. Failed actions when attacking defeated monsters have been removed. So a character that targets enemy A won't miss and then instead redirect to enemy B. In addition, if they are afflicted with a status spell, you can see that. Like there'll be a silence icon on them. Again, I think we just saw a picture right there. There's some kind of word underneath them. Maybe it's the word miss. Not exactly sure, but you should be able to see some of that going on. We are already seeing the version we're at right now. The specific spells and equipment were not correctly functioning. So whatever glitches there used to be, I can't remember. If you look back at the NES version, there was some of these random encounters and the encounter rates. The final floor not having fights, little things like that, and the titles of the spells, I think. Or I think there was an earlier version of a spell. So equipment can now be removed when attempting to equip the same item to another character instead of being locked. So like right now, we can take it off. So you can take it off when you equip something else in the original NES, but now there's like a manual unequip, basically. The option to dash was introduced if you hold down a button while walking around, just like we can do now. So this is an old movement. It's 25 years old, but it's still significantly before what came out. And it's toggled whether you want that option. In the original version, jobs which cast magic have successive spell levels, with each having 3 available spots per spell level, but can choose from an additional 4 spell. Once selected, it was not possible to unlearn spells. So now you can delete your spells and unlearn them. That's it. So all of that's still the same, but you can delete spells. You can now have up to 8 slots for saving and have a quick save anytime outside of battle. But this exits the game. So it's not like a quick save that you can. It's not a real quick save, not like we have now. So it's not quite as much like playing on an emulator. In the original version, only items specifically assigned to a character could be used to battle. In the Wonder Swan, there's a pool that can be accessed anytime. Certain status healing, like life and soft, can now be used in battle. And silence no longer. So that's a lot to be packed in there. So first of all, you used to essentially have to equip your items. Probably each item had its own inventory, like a backpack. They're like, screw it. We're not going to do that. Now people can just access the pool, and that's pretty much going forward. Second, life and soft previously couldn't be used, like Phoenix Down or whatever. or I mean the life spell you can only use outside of battle. That's terrible. That would make the game so much harder. Now you can use those in battle. And it used to, if you got silence, it used to be that you couldn't even use items. Terrible. Music, in addition to rearranging the original soundtrack, several newly composed songs were arranged. So a lot of the songs we're hearing on this are as old as the Super Wonder Swan or whatever it's called, Wonder Swan Color, but it's still not an OG to the game. Certain bosses and enemies have had their HP increased because of the ability to do some of these things. Really, not a lot, just the spells and stuff. Maps have slightly bumped the world 3 tiles south and 1 tile west, and the whole thing is 1 by 1 square less. They're all ocean tiles. Basically hasn't changed. There's just little tweaks to like where's a mountain. River and lake encounters are now the same across the entire world map. There used to be a different set for the southern versus the northern rivers. I don't know why that's changed. Swamps and deserts now have unique sets. The only real changes are the 3 areas where you walk through: Caravan, Citadel of Trials, and Onrak. They now maybe have some minor changes that give them their own RNG. Interesting. Okay. That was a lot of reading for that, but that was a lot of changes that came out, because essentially what we did at that point was move Final Fantasy into the 16-bit era. Look at all his pet bats. Here's the evil turd. The king will have no choice but to exchange the kingdom for his daughter's life. Cornelia will be mine. Huh? Who's there? Huh. The king's lapdogs. Do you have any idea who you're messing with? You really think you have what it takes to cross swords with me? Very well. I, Garland, will knock you all down. Fierce talks, man. Alright, before we fight this fool, I like with the music on in the background. Let's read in the strategy guide what it says here. So, to fight Garland... actually, I'm going to pause that music. It's a little distracting. Alright, so I'm guessing we are at the Game Boy Advance version. So instead of only having 106, he has 212 HP. So doubled his HP. This is a picture of him, his 3 file histories. That's how he used to look. And this is how he looks now in this version. So just so you know, that's our difference. Even at level 3, we should be able to beat him. Let's see. He has more XP, but if you notice, he also gives like 4 times as much XP. So that's good. He's strong against most magic, but he is susceptible to sleep, fire, and thunder, which is what our black mage will use. He can cause severe damage, 30 HP pure attack. The red and white mages to be healing and casting protection. It's also a good idea to bring some potions along in case we run low on magic. After you dispatch of Garland and receive many experience points, we'll talk to the princess. She will recognize us as the light warriors, whisk us back to the castle, and give us a precious gift. He will command the bridge to be rebuilt, and now we can truly begin. This is basically the prologue going to be over. We'll talk to all the people again who will all have new things to say. So we'll talk to everybody in the town and the castle when we're done. And they give us some texts here. And they show there's a slight difference. We will look at those differences after we do this fight. Alright, so my man here is just going to attack my 2 strongies. She's going to cast... I'm going to go ahead and cast protection on my mage. Should we do sleep? Let's try it. Okay, 26. Okay, she's put a little egg on him. Love it. Okay, we did about a little bit under 50 damage so far. He missed with his sleep spell. Good, but he also missed. Okay, they'll both attack. I'm a little scared, so I'm gonna have her use Cure Magic on him. Actually, you know what? Let's have her protect herself. And I'm gonna go ahead and use Fire. Because otherwise we're doing, as you can see, just over 40. So we've done just over 80. Now he just took another 40, so he's about a little bit more than halfway done. Okay. Now, yeah, sure. I'm just gonna keep protecting everybody in the meantime. Go ahead and cast Thunder. So about 160, about 190. He should be about. This spell should kill him right here. Yeah, right in time too. Love that. Yeah. Okay, that protection was great. 32 XP, that is not at all. I guess it's... Maybe that's divided by the party member? Because it said like... I don't know. You've come to rescue me. I don't know how I can ever thank you. I am Sarah, Princess of Cornelia. That's the first time anyone's ever defeated Garland. Like, can you be defeated more than once? You must allow me to show my gratitude. Please accompany me to Castle Cornelia. That's the first time anyone has ever defeated him. Alright, we're back on the second floor. Thank you for returning my daughter to my side. There can be no doubt that you are the warriors of light from Lucan's prophecy. You should hear the prophecy in its entirety, if I may. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. If they cannot gather the shards of light, the darkness will consume all. 4 crystals never shine again. Now I hear that a crystal can be found on the continent to our north. Restoring light to the crystals is our only hope of ridding the world of the monsters which plague it. I thought I had the crystals. I will have the bridge to the north rebuilt, as I promised. I pray that you succeed in restoring light to the 4 crystals and to the world. Yeah, my favorite sound clip in all gaming. Alright, if we talk to him, Sarah's thoughts are always with you. I could care less, is what he says. This lute has been entrusted to the princesses of Cornelia for many generations. When he abducted me, Garland took this lute as well. I want you to have it. It may aid you in your journey. So now we have a lute. That's basically what you obtain the lute. That's what Final Fantasy 1 is really built about. It's a series of different like chained items, and you have to. If you were really playing this back in the day, you would have to keep a note like, okay, I got the lute. Now, every time you find a new space, because you're kind of locked into what's available, you would look to see what do I need, write the name of the place, and then travel back there to go, like, follow a chain of events, basically. If you wanted, you could. I mean, here in Cornelia, no, it's nothing. You should make preparations for your journey. Restore light to the crystals. Okay, and this guy says, the dancing girl in town knows many odd bits of information. If you stray from your path, try talking to her. She may know something that can put you back on course. So if you ever get lost, come back to her and she can maybe, like, give you the hint to what you should be doing next in the game. The Warriors of Light? I can't thank you enough for saving Lady Sarah. Okay, so that's our generic NPC guard response. Cool, like, you guys say you can't thank me enough, but I see treasures that you're not going to give me. So maybe they get it together here. Alright, so that's all for upstairs. I've been assigned the important task of defending Castle Cornelia. To be honest, I'm a little nervous. Good boy. Alright. You guys want to... How about you? You got something to say, little princess girl? My sister's back, and it's all thanks to you guys, isn't it? I can just kiss you. Wow. Okay. That's inappropriate. Okay. Just, come on. Can't be kissing little girls. Dude. Dudes. Get it under control. Capcom. I mean, Squaresoft. I don't know how I could ever thank you for rescuing Sarah. So I just won't. The beautiful lute handed down for generations to the princesses of Cornelia is said to have a unique power. It can shatter the gateway of evil. I think you use it like at the end of the game. Are you the warriors of light? The one from Lucan's prophecy? Yeah, move. You should kind of scooch up a little bit. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. No, let me get. Oh, there's no point. Okay, so there is a way to walk around the back of this place. That's not how I think you gotta kind of go outside. Go up this way. Just want to see if anybody else has some info. Start. Yeah, this guy. Our ancestor. Yeah, so he said the same thing as before. We gotta find some elf king, basically. So we cannot get into the treasure house until we find the elf king. There are elves in Final Fantasy? Apparently. Oh, we're immediately going to the cutscene. So this is new. That builder guy. Orders from His Majesty. We're to do our part to fulfill Lucan's prophecy. What were they doing before? Just chilling? The whole crew out here. Hey, yo, it's union work. Can't do it. Sorry. You're part of a union? No offense. I'm just using a stereotype. Hey, built the bridge. Before that, we was, doing paperwork. What does this bridge have to do with the prophecy? He's blinking to us. Blink twice if you're in trouble. He did. The 4 warriors of light are here. They're here in Cornelia. Thanks, guys. Okay, so we're gonna go into the little town now. And do they say more? I don't know, but I kind of want to sleep at the end. Yes, please. Peasant dreams. We didn't use any items, so I'm not gonna buy any more. Alright, meanwhile, before we head into the next area, let's take a little look here at, yeah, we're gonna go to the bridge. Yeah, it says we're gonna talk to the people again. But before that, let's just look at this transportation category. There are 3 types of transportation we will unlock in this game. In the town of Provoca, we will get a ship. We will defeat Vicky, the pirate in Provoca. He will surrender his ship to us. And the ship can only sail in deep water, so we can't go in rivers. And we can only get on or off at docks and river mouths, and only the river mouths once you have the canoe. You will be attacked by ocean enemies like sharks and sahagins. There are only docks on the southern continent. So if you look at the greater picture of the world of Final Fantasy, we can't go to the north. At Crescent Lake, we will also get the canoe by defeating the Lich. That's the Earth boss. Then the Sage will give us a canoe. It can only go on rivers or lakes. You can switch directly from the ship to the canoe. And while on the river, we will be attacked by some of the strongest enemies in the game. Crocodiles, piranhas, ochus, and hydras. Okay, so river fighting is tough, but you will not be able to do it until like the last half or last quarter of the game. And finally, in the Lycian Desert, we will unlock an airship. You have to take the Levistone from the ice cavern to the Lycian Desert. The airship can fly anywhere, but it can only land on open plains. It is the only way to get to the northern continents, but since the airship cannot land in forests or deserts, you're limited where you can land. You don't fight enemies while you are flying. Great. Okay. That's cool. I am not necessarily interested in the different controls, but it'll be nice. I guess we'll glance at it for a minute to see what we can do. Yeah, we did gameplay in general, and there's still some other things to talk about as we go through. That'll be something we continue on the episodes. Let's go up to the bridge. Actually, let's finish talking to the people in town. Let's see if there's anybody else. Oh, this guy, he wasn't there before. So some creepy little... Hi there, I'm a dancer. What's that? You want to dance with me? Hee hee. So why are you still here? Weren't you supposed to be crossing that bridge to the north? You must really want to dance with me. Hee hee. So she's basically letting us know, hey bozos, go cross the bridge you just unlocked. Toy. Restore the crystals to Grace. I will. I promise. I've done it like 20 times. Witch named Matoya lives to the north of Cornelia. So most likely we should go look for a witch named Matoya. Sage Lucan said something about finding the crescent moon. Okay, so he gives us a hint. Actually, let's read that again. I think we read this already, but what's this hint? We need to find a crescent moon. So that's one thing. So that you would write that down. The sage left. We will need a ship at some point. If you can't get one, borrow one from pirates. So this is, again, these are things we should be keeping our eye out for. Okay. I will restore the crystals to Grace. That'd be so cool. I once lived far to the east of here in the harbor city of Provoca. So we now know most likely Provoca is where we will get our ship, and it's far to the east. And it's turned into a pirate's den. So that's 2 clues letting us know we will ultimately, if we want to unlock more of the game, need to go to the east to a town called Provoca. They say Matoya's peepers aren't too sharp. She can't see a thing without her crystal eye. So Matoya is a witch that's going to live to the north, and we will be encountering her soon. So again, these would all be notes young me would write down. And she'll need a crystal eye. Or if you can hurt her crystal eye, it will hinder her ability. Just saying. Alright, so let's go ahead and save state that bad boy. And then up we go. We're going to go step on the bridge. There's a key thing I want to look at. We'll do this like this. A wolf? You bozo. Okay, as we step on this, we've essentially finished the prologue. And look at this great little preview. It's like the beginning of a movie. We watched that intro scene. Lecon's back. And so, their quest began. As the 4 warriors of light, they felt overwhelmed by the great task destiny had placed before them. They did not even know the true significance of the 4 crystals they held in their hands. Take your time. They're crystals that once, long ago, held a light that shone so brilliantly. Think about that. I'm gonna think. The time for their journey had come. I mean, and like all of this. Okay, I'll hold my comments. The time to cast off the veil of darkness and bring the world once more into light. Which is, I mean, I do appreciate, don't get me wrong, I like this cinematic moment. I like the castle in the background there. I like the picture of the 4 heroes. It's almost like a Disney movie kind of vibe right now, or a little epic adventure. However, that is telling me nothing. Saying nothing. Now, that cutscene did exist. Ah, that's cool. We get the little, we're starting, so that cinematic quality, I do respect that. Now, what's interesting if you want to look at the different versions, so let's look at the NES versus the PlayStation version versus the version we're playing. So it began the first time, and so their journey begins, and then it changed to began, and then in this version, their quest began. What awaits the four they do not know became, as warrior of light, the four youth faced a staggering mission and a stormy destiny. And then that becomes, as the four warriors of light, they felt overwhelmed by the great task destiny had placed before them. Okay. And they do not know, half of that sentence becomes, well, here they have each holding an orb. So it used to be orb, not crystal. That 2,000 years ago shined with beauty from within. That becomes, the four crystals they carried remained a mystery to them. In ages past, those crystals had a radiant, dazzling light. The time for heroes is at hand. And then the version we just played, they did not even know the significance of the four crystals they held in their hands, the crystals that once long ago held a light that shone so brightly. Then it used to say, but now only darkness. Come, start your journey, return the light of peace to our world. And then credits popped up in the NES. So NES is when that cutscene actually came. Before that didn't even exist. This says, darkness must be banished again, so the life and peace can illuminate the world once more. No credits. And then the one we just read, the time for their journey had come. The time to cast off the veil of darkness and bring the world once more into light. We're going to start this chapter called The Journey Begins. And if you look at what we have before us, we're just going to peek. I'm not going to look at it yet, but we have an intro. We will be going to Matoya's Cave. This is the Pravoka region. You look at the map here, where I'm assuming we just sort of came from this side somewhere over here. And we're going to be working our way up probably to Matoya's Cave. There looks to be some kind of town there. Actually, that's the town we just left, I think. So we'll be going up to Matoya's Cave before maybe coming back around and going over to this town. That's the town of Pravoka. I think that's what we're working on today. So we will go to Matoya's Cave, then to Pravoka, and then there's something called the Power Peninsula. So the Power Peninsula is, I don't know, it says east of Pravoka. So this thing right here, if you look at the zoom up, this area. So if we want to, we can come here and grind a little bit, which I probably will. I'm a bit of a grinder. All right, cool. So it says when we cross the bridge, you can go to Matoya's Cave or go straight to Pravoka. It's optional, but it's a good source of XP, and we can get 2 potions and an antidote. So if we do this, it says that we should go back and heal when we're done if we need to. So why not? All right, so we're going to work our way up to Matoya's Cave. So we're going to head north as far as north can be. Sand State, baby. And here we go. The journey begins. So there's that would be a dock if you had the ship. You could land right there. What will we fight now? Lizards? I did not read about the mobs that are available to us. 3 damage. Oh, they're pretty tough because that was somewhere in the neighborhood of... Wow. And look at that. That was a tough fight. What's it? Okay. Do we talk about the mobs? Okay. No, they don't. They talk about the Power Peninsula mobs, but they don't give us any actual mobs except for ogres. They talk about that. Other than that, they're just like, you'll fight something, but this walkthrough is a little weak when it comes to that. That's okay. We'll live. Yeah, we gotta go to the left and go around. But let's take a peek also at just this So what are the things we can do? We kind of know we can move the characters and cursors. We can talk, examine, confirm, enter and exit the vehicles with the X button on our run or cancel. We can open the main menu, display the map, switch the displayed character. Oh, that's cool. So you can not, if you don't want to have like the warrior, we'll look at that when we go back in. Change characters in the menus that I already knew. Toggle multi-targeting. That must be new. But like basically if you want to change Thunder to hit everybody, a weaker version hits everybody, toggle the mini-map. And toggle multi-targeting on the ally side. Okay, that's something we have to check out. There's pause, opening the party menu, and then shortcut to items, equipment, config, magic, memo. That's fine. So the one main thing is there should be a way to look at changing which character we have. Oh, look, we have a bestiary. We're going to look at that later. Not looking at that right now. I don't know where the... Let's see, what are our... No... Oh, what am I doing? Okay. Game settings. There we go. I don't know what happened there. Control mapping. This is the LNR. So I have Q and W as my LNR. I don't see a... Oh, because this is a PSP emulator. So there is no, like, L2, R2 trigger. Gotcha. So looking back at what we just said, since this is a PSP, yeah, there is no L2, R2. But we should be able to hit L and R. Oh, but there's no PSP. Well, it shouldn't matter. But if the PlayStation version doesn't do that, my guess is the PSP version wouldn't do it. So the L and R keys are not... Yeah, they're not letting us switch. That's okay. Let's just fight. Oh no, I didn't save, so that whole fight we just did with the lizard... That was my bad. My bad, guys. Then we'll fight 2 goblin guards. Probably better because we took like 14 damage on our hero, and now we take 10. Okay. My bad. My bad. Oh, some regular old goblins. I don't know who that wizard... Oh, what did we get? Sneak attacked? Sure did. Okay. Ow. Why are we, like, starting off on the back foot where we just took such a negative agility roll versus those goblins? They're worth nothing. Okay. Okay, we have another party of goblins. Let's see if I can just figure out this magic. Yeah, I don't see this, like, little attack everybody version they're talking about. No! Oh, no! He ran. Okay, well. Oh, these are the ogres that they were saying these guys pack a wall up. Ow. 13, 15, let's see what life they're at. 30, 41, 51. So 51 damage is still kicking. 72, 92, 97, 98. Ow. Luckily, our tank is getting hit. So they have a little over 100 life. or maybe only 100. Good XP though. Okay, so that's Matoya's cave. Alright, back in a minute. Let's save that state since we fought our way there. Alright. So the next thing we have on here is where it talks about some basic interface things, getting around, looking at the sub screens, the new versions, the old versions, savings, configs, blah, blah, blah. But that's major boring stuff. Instead, let's talk about the differences in the PlayStation version, which is very close to what we're playing right now. So this was an enhanced re-release for the PlayStation that came. It was released alongside Final Fantasy II, and it was titled Final Fantasy Origins, or Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Premium Collection, because Final Fantasy 1 and 2 as a regular collection had already come out. They're both based on the Wondrous 1 color version we just read about. Most of those changes are the same. This came out in 03 in the US, 02 in Japan. Okay, so in addition to the new looks, it gave even new higher resolution graphical effects, probably like spell effects, rearranged sound quality and soundtrack, equivalent to the existing Final Fantasy PlayStation titles that were out at that point in 2002, and some new tracks. The localization of the game was, the script was changed to include kanji, so we saw that at the beginning when we started this. English localization was improved and retranslated so that it's more closely aligned with the Japanese script and terminology. Character and spell lengths were increased up to 6 characters. Fighter and Black Belt are renamed Warrior and Monk, respectively. The save game took up a save block on the old PS1 memory cards, which means that 15 games could be saved on a card. They got rid of the quick save, but instead giving memo save, which stays until it's turned off. So that is more like a save state. So now at this point, save state is basically kicked in. So it's not even the fact that we're playing on an emulator. Don't feel bad that we're using a PSP emulator. You could basically, from this point forward, do it. A full motion video that we watched at the beginning with the Warrior of Light. So that thing we watched at this point had come into play. An omake, or bonus section, was made available that includes bestiary, an art gallery, item collection. We will 100% be looking at that different stuff. They're unlocked as you play through the game. We're going to see if our version of PSP still has it. I bet you it will. Before we're done with this game, we're going to look at all the cool bonus stuff. There's an easy mode where shop prices are cheaper, XP is faster, mage and wizard spell pools are more generous. And instead of capping at 9 spells per level, it's an optional easy mode. It had DualShock rumbling. And there was an Easter egg in the NES version that had gravestones with the description, "Here lies Erdrick," a reference to the Dragon Quest franchise, Dragon Warrior, the protagonist of Dragon Quest III. Now it says, "Here lies Link," as of the PlayStation version, referencing the protagonist of Zelda. Kind of morbid that Link is dead in this version. All right, so at our guide, so when we come up to the woman, it looks like there's 3 chests, A, B, and C. Once Sarah's safe, Sarah being the princess we just saved, a woman in Cornelia trust the Light Warriors enough to tell them about Matoya, a witch who lives in the cave to the north. Once you cross the bridge, you'll encounter new, more dangerous enemies, particularly ogres. Once we are level 6, we'll be strong enough. Are we level 6? I think we are. We're level 5. So we want to probably grind to level 6. Don't travel too far. Across the bridge, you'll reach a region of mountains that splits into 2 paths. If you go north along the rivers, you'll find a cave at the edge. So we're going to grind to 6 on the way back. We will grab the 2 potions and an antidote, talk to the broom to decipher its message, and speak with Matoya to learn about her stolen crystal lens. Okay, so that was something we already knew about. And let's just go. We'll talk to the brooms and see. It looks like it's just kind of like not the major league. All right. Whoa. What? Oh, I must have some kind of. Speed. Yeah, why is it going so fast? Oh man, something happened. I must have somehow changed. Hmm. In, force a real clock sync. Change the emulated PSP's CPU clock. I'm not sure what has happened here. Yeah, look at this. This is gonna be something has happened. What is this called? Okay, PPSPP. Okay. Let's see if we can find out what setting I tweaked. Sorry, guys. Ensure audio synchronization is enabled in the settings. Audio synchronization. I don't know what that would mean. Audio synchronization. Why is... I must have clicked something. I don't even see that as an option. Unchecking auto frame skip. That is already checked. Maximum FPS to 60. What did I do? Rendering resolution. Settings. Audio. Synchronization. I don't even see that. Okay. Audio synchronization. I don't even see that. Okay. Render duplicate frames to 60 hertz on. Okay, so menu. I don't even see that. Core options. I don't see that. Video. I don't see any of these. Probably graphics. So we're looking for render duplicate frames to 60. Yeah, you can see that. Why is that suddenly turned off? I wonder if there's buffer graphics commands, hardware transform. Software skinning. I don't even know what that means. No buffer. Let's see what it means. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what we're having. Okay. Well, that worked for now. I don't know what the heck was going on. Okay, if we talk to the broom, it says front words, backwards. Any way you see. Such a strange spell. Just swishery. Okay, so if you... Oh, I see. It's saying read it backwards. Dash, select, dash button select, swisheroo. So select button dash button select. Maybe you press those two at the same time. Is what I believe it is saying. So if you look at... Yeah, if you speak the B and select, it will bring up a map. Gotcha. Cool. So B button is this. Which one is select? That one. Now I gotta remember what my controllers were. Select is my V button. Got it way over there. Okay. So dash button B. There we go. Oh, that's cool. So this is a much better map. So this is an enlarged map. Your current position. Castle Cornelia. Town of Cornelia. The Chaos Shrine. Latoya's Cave. And we have already seen the Earth Gift Shrine. There. And that's it. We haven't just... But it does show you where everything is. And it kind of shows you where little ports are. That's actually super freaking useful. Okay. Awesome. Okay, what else do you... Thump. Ow! Her cave is kind of dark. Her house or whatever. My eye. My eye. Oh, I bet you I could have clicked some of this too. I must have accidentally clicked one of those. Ow. Okay. So... I can't see a blasted thing without my crystal eye. Who could have stolen it from me? I accidentally... Oh no. Dang it. Stinker. I had full screen on and I decided I didn't want it. This is, we will learn, guys, as I continue to learn this stuff, it'll become better. We'll waste less and less time. And we'll finish with some of this side chatter too. So this game really will speed up. It's already faster than it was last time because I don't have to talk about the justification. Could have stolen it from me. Alright, so. Yeah, it's the same thing. They all say the same thing, but there we go, 3 chests. A potion. Another potion. And an antidote. Cool. Alright, that's all we really want from her. We just wanted to learn about her thing and grab a few potions. But we also really want to get to level 6. That's the next goal. Ooh, I like that. I wonder if that graphical change right there was... No. Negative. Oh, she missed. Sure. It does seem like the graphics are a little bad right now. They're a little slower than they were. I got spoiled, they were a little faster than this. So, now I'm going to save and find out. Okay, there we go, we're level 6. He gained 30 HP. Glee gained some HP, strength, luck. Gleezy gained HP and some magic points, strength, intelligence. And Gleebo gained 1 HP but some MP, agility and intelligence, and luck. Cool. Alright, so we're level 6 right there. I guess we don't really have to go grind. They said go ahead and grind. I don't really care. Alright, so if we look at getting around and we just scan it, it basically says there's a variety of terrain: grassland, forest, oceans by ship, that can only dock at ports. Usually the ports are near points of interest in the southern hemisphere. Rivers by canoe, but you can carry the canoe with you, so you just basically automatically reach it. Kind of like canoe on Legend of Zelda, or yeah, the first Zelda. Mountains, can't ever go through them, but except with an airship, but you can only land on the grass. Occasionally, so this is cool. So Final Fantasy 1, they're already giving you an airship. I like that. Occasionally you'll get the points of interest, towns, castles, caves. The game will now zoom in and you control your characters. You'll talk to people that will give you important information. Some is useless. Other times it's kind of like key info. Occasionally you find treasure chests with common, rare, or key items. And there are different kinds of shops, from item stores, white and black magic, weapon and armor, clinics, which is actually like the churches now, and inns, which used to save the game. When you wander around, you'll also fight random encounters. Depends on where you're at. Oceans and rivers have their own set, and you don't have any in the sky or in towns. Sometimes there's a pre-programmed auto battle. That's kind of all we need to know about moving around. All right, let's look at the actual guide forward. So we've done that. We're going to go to Provoca. So they did already mention this is a pirate town. You can kind of see right here, there are some shops and some people we'll talk to. The road is long, so bring plenty of potion. So if you look at where we're at, we are kind of right about here. We need to go through the desert and around in there. I think we'll be okay, even though we're level 6, just barely. You arrive low on strength, stay at the end first before you talk to Bicky and the pirates, because he will fight you. Hit the regular spots in town to do all that good stuff. Choose wisely which spells you want. White magic, invisibility at level 2 is the best. It will help you raise your invasion, so it's kind of an improvement even over the defense one. Silence is also worth picking up. It will even help you silence bosses later in the game. And Blizzard is a good one from the black magic shop, because now we would have ice. We will also have options to buy a few of these other things. Dark, temper, and slow. Don't know which one of those are better. And blindna, null shock, silence, invis. So invis and silence are those are worth it. And we'll just have to see how much money we can afford. There's also some upgrades to armor here. What should we talk about? We will have to fight pirates. He'll not be pleased to see us. 9 pirates will attack us, but they're kind of weak. Should be able to one-shot them or cast sleep. Once you've freed him, he still stays in town, and he'll give you his ship. The townspeople will reappear at that point, and they'll have a lot to say. So we'll walk around town and explore, and they'll give us more clues about this elf prince. Remember that elf prince is the person who's going to have the key we need, and special herbs, and about a new town. So they'll give us some more clues, and their ship will be waiting when we're ready. We're going to step on the ship and set sail. Thunder is good for the sea enemies. Sail around and battle monsters for money. So that's what they want us to do, is to sail around and battle monsters. Interesting. And then go back to Cornelia for easy dock and cheap inn stay. And eventually we're going to head south to Elfheim. However, you might find your efforts are going slow to get money, but the effective way is to go to Power Peninsula. You should grind until you get to level 10. So, head out on foot, go north. The top few squares, 4 squares at the tip are very powerful. Winter wolves, hill gigas, trolls, necrotars, wyverns. If you manage to win, they usually get between 500 and 900 XP and 2 to 3,000 gil. Spells sold in Elfheim can substantially aid you in battle. If you continue to return here until you get 15 or so, they're easier to kill. They're saying it's best to go back and save after every successful battle. So they're just basically saying this is a place to try to fight these guys to gain gold fast. If you really want to spam that kind of thing, I feel like I don't need to stress about all that. What we will do, we can try grinding till about level 10 right now. What we're going to need to do, though, is we want to go ahead and upgrade all the possible things in this town. So first of all, we are right here. We need to go all the way to the town, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start our walkie poo, see how that takes us on our journey, and hopefully we can get there and get to that town by this episode. I think we will. We'll look at some other things along the way. This is trash. We'll never upgrade if we are fighting these dum-dums. I think we're level 6. And there you go. Double bonks on the head. 30 gil. I feel like whatever. I mean, you're getting 30 gil just for that. Okay, so I'm a little bit worried about desert fighting, but we got right on the grass in between those two spots. This is that lizard. Okay. And chopping him up. Just a little... There will be some grinding in this game, but this game does at least continually kind of move you from one spot to the next, so... I don't ever think we're going to have, like, so much grinding time needed. Goblin Guard and a Warg Wolf. Ooh, the Warg Wolf hit. It's okay. But his defense is trash, so it's okay. Get him! He did not get him. What even are goblins? What even is this world? Okay, where are we at? Oh, we're close. I need to head up a little bit. That's so useful. That's a good map. I'm used to playing this game where the map is just like you have to go like offline or whatever. This is way better. All right, we found the town. I see it. I see it. Okay, packs of wolves. I see what they're talking about and why the sea is going to be a better spot for us to grind out on. Not to mention that we can sail closer to save money as needed. Our homegirl, Gleezy, she's gonna needs to heal, I think. Oh. I mean, we're gonna go and heal in the town right before the pirates anyway. How much money are we gonna get from this pack of wolves? I feel like this is a pretty decent pack here. 36, not a lot. We can use some of her magic. Go ahead and cure yourself. Okay. He can handle a cure. Can he? Okay. Alright, so here's Pirate Town. I mean, I guess what was the point of even going into there? Please help us. Okay. What am I helping you with, bro? Alright, in the center of town, we see this Mohawk man. What's he say? Those blasted pirates, they're running around looting and pillaging like they own the place. Okay, so let's talk to everybody in town. Oh, that's the pirate over there. Let's talk to the people out the pirates first. And I'm gonna stay at the inn. Okay, so here's the armor shop. So the hammer is useless. A broadsword is 450. I don't know which one's stronger. Okay, attack 15, accuracy 10. Attack 16, accuracy 5. Scimitar 10, 10. 21. Well, the scimitar is for our little thief guy there. So the battle axe is like 1 point stronger, but that he'll get less attacks in the long run. So doesn't really say which one you should buy, but I feel like, oh gosh darn. Okay, so the left-hand column is what we have here. All right, so why would I buy? I think I want. So if I buy the broadsword, yeah, 1 point of attack for 5 points of accuracy. I feel like the broadsword's better. And the scimitar for that guy, more attack. That's. I feel like that's so nobody else gets anything. So if I buy both, that's 5. That's 610. So basically have about 500 left. The magic is 250 each, so we need that. I don't care about the items for sale. So let's go. All the armor is going to be way cheaper, so let's go there first. Let's equip everybody's defense first. That's the black magic shop. Is this the church? Yeah. Church. Okay, where's the armor shop? There's white magic. It's the stinking armor shop. I need armor. You're gonna give it to me. That's the inn. We definitely want to talk to this person first. Please come in. 50 gil. Sure. Pleasant dreams. Okay. Thanks. I'll try to sleep well. All right. Let's see what else can we afford or do right now. I don't want to talk to that guy. Okay, it didn't. Good. There's a little item shop. So everybody else is hiding. There's not a lot else, but here's the armor shop. All right. So leather armor we don't need. Chainmail I already got. Iron armor, a leather shield. Everybody can wear leather gloves. So first of all, let me do a leather shield. Just gives me 2 defense. So let's go ahead and put that on him. That was super cheap too. Now he's my... I gained just 2 pieces of defense. Great. Easy decision. Cost only 12 gold. Okay, so we need 4 leather gloves for everybody. Nope. That's 200 total gil. And everybody gets one. What does it do? It's gonna lower your evasion by 1, but increase your defense by 1. It's fine, right? Okay. I mean, whatever. I think defense is probably better. Alright, so everybody got that. Now, the only other thing we need to buy here is the $640 armor, which we do eventually want, but we're not going to get that right now. So now I think the sword for the rogue, for the thief, is better. And then we'll look at magic. What's our most important magic? Where do we want to go with the magic? That kind of thing. But for this, those are 450. His weapon upgrade will be 450, but his scimitar upgrade will be. So. Give him a rapier, just a straight up +1 to attack, +5 to accuracy. Great. Cool. And then now it's going to be on to magic. I do kind of want black. So Blizzard is a nice one. Oh, but he already has Thunder. So Dark is just a blinding thing. Temper, well, that's a good one. We are going to want Temper. So Blinding will lower their accuracy. Slow will also, in a way, do that. I feel like Slow is probably better than Dark. So we'll go with Blizzard, Temper, and Slow. Okay. So keeping that in mind, what does the girl need? What's more important to have? Curing Darkness is met. Now Silence is good. Invisibility is a really good one because it will increase our evasion. Null Shock reduces damage by half. Lightning damage. That's pretty solid actually because it's situationally specific. So those are the three she'll probably take. Curing Blindness, I feel like it's not worth the spell points it takes to do it. So we're going to go ahead and learn Invisibility. Okay. And let's also give her Silence. Okay, so we'll just max out the white magic for now. So we need 1,000 total for spells still, and we need oh, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. And we're gonna need 600 and something for that armor, and 450. So we need about 2,000, a little bit more actually than 2,000. All right, and this is where we're gonna stop. So rather than completing that, let's go ahead and see if we can save. A real save. There we go. Cool. Alright, and if we wanted to look at anything else, we won't talk about the changes in the Game Boy Advance version because there was a decent amount. But if you want to scan forward, we do have that version. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the ultimate version. And then there's a couple little... So there's a dozen versions we still haven't discussed. About half of those actually being substantive. Really went over a couple today. We'll talk about the Game Boy Advance next time. That's a really important one because that's, in large part, it's the version we're playing right now. We are going to be playing the Dawn of Souls things, and so there's worthwhile stuff. You know what? We can throw in discussing the sub-screens. That's super fun. We don't even really need to talk about them. We can use them for items, magic, equipment, status, formation to change the order, memo in Origins. Oh yeah. Config. Also, we can view the bestiary from here. That's pretty cool. Good to know. And then there's saving in our versions. If you save, you can save in the Bag Tent Cottage. Now we can save in a subscreen, and we also have many other ways to do it because we have an emulator. Config will allow you to make changes. As you can see, default or custom, a dash, default being like NES version. The cursor for memory, I actually typically like that in Final Fantasy games, but right now I'm going to leave it off. You can change text speed, but you can always skip to the end. You can change the window coloring, which I might do on a future episode. Why not? Actually, let's do that right now. Why not? So let's get out of here and play around with that. Let's change the window color, and there we can access the bestiary. No, I don't want to. Like, what is that? So you have to manually do it. I don't want to do that. Yeah, so you have to change each quarter. Screw that. Alright, I'm not messing with it. So you could manually tint the whole thing. That's more trouble than it's worth. And we will be looking at this bestiary at some point. Why does it have 3 stars next to it? Don't ask me. Does that mean we beat it enough times? I don't know. No clue. What does it mean if it's 3 stars? So that's cool. It just... Oh, it doesn't do anything. It just tells you what treasure it can have and its stats. Cool. And then the different versions, and you can compare. So this is what we fought so far. There you go. He can drop an Echo Grass. He can drop Potion. This is the various things we've fought so far. Oh, and his music changes. That's cool too. Cool. These dum-dums. Cool. Alright. So that's enough for today. I had a good time, and I look forward to continuing this journey next week with you guys. The next time we will be able to smack these pirates down, free the town, farm a little bit in the sea to get all of the equipment available here and get up to at least around level 10. And then we will, we'll start the next portion of the game. If you look at the actual guide, I'm not worried about the Power Peninsula. So that'll get us on to the next set, which is called the Prince of Elfland. And I imagine that will start getting us into the key or whatever it is. Thank you everybody so much for watching, listening, and tuning into this episode of Lore of Final Fantasy, a little side project where we will do as a special treat to ourselves once a week. Check me out tomorrow, where I'm going to do another run at the old Blackrock Spire and see if anything gets done. Lower Blackrock Spire, see if anything gets done there. Keep it on with me by joining in the community of online people, and we all appreciate you, and I appreciate all of you. See you guys in the next episode. This one is in that pipe, 5x5.